Hello and welcome to Wisdom's Peaceful Harmony. I'm Dr. Lynette Wiest, and this video is one in a series of videos about family relationships. And in this particular video, I'm going to talk about family relationship patterns, systems, and problems. What these are, how they form, and then how to identify some of the things that you may want to change. Each family operates as a system, and each part, meaning each person, operates in a role within this emotional and behavioral system. Family problems result from the system and not as a direct result of any one person. Each person's personality influences every family member because each person's words, attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors impact the whole system. In this way, changes in one person create chain reactions that impact the family operating system. So family problems do not reside within one individual. Family problems exist within the operating system. So family systems or patterns, they usually become predictable and repetitive over time. And if you're able to get a somewhat objective view of your family system, then you're going to be able to see your role, your impact within the system, and the changes that you may want to make. So how do these roles come about? Family patterns and individuals' roles are often passed from one generation to the next. Each family member can be programmed into specific roles in the family system. And I will give some examples of this in a minute. So these roles change over time with evolving circumstances. And as you become aware of how you have been programmed into a role, you can change your role. Now, this can be difficult, and I will soon be doing a video about how to make personal changes from within the system because the system can kind of struggle with one person making those changes. So if you want to see that video, be sure to subscribe so that you see that. Now, each adult tends to take on the same emotional role in their adult relationships as they did when they were a child. Each adult then tends to form relationships with others whose emotional roles complement or work as a system with their own. And this creates relationship patterns that are similar to your childhood. So for example, there might be a family pattern where the parents are not available to the children in certain ways. In this situation, the oldest child might become the caretaker of the younger ones. And then as an adult, the oldest child may partner with someone who's less responsible and who has others take care of their responsibilities. So you can see here how both of the people keep similar roles to the role that they learned as a child. Another example would be a child that's growing up in a family where there's limited affection. As an adult, they may then partner with someone who expects little affection. Another example is a child who wishes that they could make their parent more emotional, give them more emotional attention. And then as a child, they might act in ways that are attempts to get more emotional attention. And as an adult, they may then partner with someone who's emotionally distant, which is what they're used to, and continue in a role where they continue to hope that they can make the other person more attentive emotionally. So you can see this creates a pattern of negative emotions rather than positive emotions when one person is trying to get the other person to be a certain way. And you can see how the roles are similar to the role that they had as children. Now, there's a side note to this. I want to just say that if you have a child who is pulling at your negative emotions, it may be appropriate to take privileges away, but if the consequence that you give them is your negative emotions, then this can create a negative feedback loop. They may want positive emotion, but they may subconsciously settle for the negative emotions from you. They may even believe that it is only the negative emotions that they're equipped to get from you, because if they start to learn this over time. So this can create an unhealthy pattern in your family, and it is a feedback loop that over time can be very hard to undo and heal. So don't start it. Don't teach your child to think that they are in charge of your emotions. And for more information about how to address emotions, there are many videos on the playlist about emotions and how to deal with them. Now, realize that as parents, adults tend to continue the same emotional roles and family patterns that were present in their original families. Parenting patterns of expression, of behavior, of expectations, of anxieties, assumptions, prejudices, and more can be set like a default pattern. Then they're reproduced in the new family system. When you become aware of the way you were programmed and the changes that you want to make in yourself, powerful changes can be made in both you and in the family patterns that you are a part of. You can make the changes that you want to see in yourself, and thereby you impact others in your family system. When there's conflict in the family, it will remain alive only when there's participation in it. More than one person is required in order to create and maintain conflict. So don't focus on blaming others. Blame will decrease your personal sense of power in the situation, and blame will decrease your ability to focus on where you can make change. So focus on improving yourself. And in this video, I'm not going to focus on family conflict because I will very soon do a video specifically about family conflict. So you can subscribe and look for that in the near future. A common and very problematic family system is known as a triangle. Triangles form in families when one person feels hurt or disappointed or angry or some other discomfort with another person, and then they can't seem to resolve it between the two people. Tension builds between the two, and then they bring in a third person into the situation, forming a triangle. In the short term, this may decrease the tension that the two people were having. However, it will confuse and amplify the problem. So in this way, the problem becomes more difficult to define and solve. So that's called a triangle. And here's a few examples. A parent might use a child to meet their emotional needs when the needs are not being met between two spouses. Another example is that a child might bring in a second parent to try to negate the first parent's rules. Another example is a friend or a relative might be brought in from outside the immediate family system to take sides in a conflict. So when tension is building in a family relationship, it's best to resolve it within the two people. If a triangle is being introduced into the pattern, one person can have a positive impact in healing the potential triangle by refusing to take part in forming the triangle. If a child brings a second parent into the situation, the parents can work to not create a triangle by acting in unison as one unit. And that avoids creating a triangle. And this can be a wonderful opportunity for parents to work as a team using their loving parenting skills. Also, if parents don't agree about how to address an issue, it's best if they address it between the two of them, away from the child. Do not place a child in the middle of two or more parents' disagreements. This could form a triangle and put unwarranted stress on the child. Do not do that. Stay aware. Realize the family patterns that you're involved in. And then if you see that you are acting on autopilot and you want to change your impact in your family patterns, you can. And look for a video about, in the very soon future, look for a video about being your best self in the family. I'll be posting that in a day or two. So if you want to be sure to see that, subscribe and turn on your notification bell. And the subscribe button will be over here in a few seconds. So remember, the happiest people take responsibility for their own happiness. And then they share their perspective. They share this perspective with those around them. You are an author writing the truth of you. Your family, your culture, your country, your planet, the universe are each whole organisms of which you are an important part. Without them, your life would have no context. The author, you, your pen would have no paper. So don't judge others. Pour love's unconditional power into your pen. Impact those around you with your love from the inside out. Acknowledge and appreciate the opportunity to bring love into this communion of souls in physical form. Welcome.